There once lived a young boy, a soul defined by his courage and unwavering truth. He found a strange magic in the dance of cold steel, and since his earliest years, he had dedicated himself to mastering the sword. He harbored a grand ambition, a dream that whispered to him. His greatest longing was to one day become a knight of truth, a protector who would use his strength not for glory, but as a trust from the Almighty to defend the oppressed and uphold justice. He understood that to carry a sword was a heavy amana, sacred trust, and he spent his nights in prayer. One afternoon, while practicing his strikes beneath the shade of an ancient olive tree, an old traveler with a face illuminated by divine light, approached him. The traveler watched the boy's disciplined movements and spoke softly, "Young one, remember that the strongest of warriors is not he who strikes down his enemy, but he who conquers his own ego." The old man handed the boy an ancient scroll marked with the seal of forgotten kings. He told the boy of a hidden valley where a legendary blade, once held by a companion of the prophet, was said to be kept. However, the sword could only be unsheathed by one whose heart was free of pride. With a prayer of Bismillah on his lips and the map tucked into his belt, the brave boy set out on a journey. He wasn't just searching for a weapon. He was seeking to become a Siddiq, one whose actions always mirrored the truth of his words. At the heart of the valley, the boy found no monster, only a mirror-like lake. His reflection didn't show his face, but a dark version of himself, draped in stolen gold and drunk on power. The shadow hissed, "Take the sword, and the world is your slave." The boy felt the seductive burn of pride. But remembering the old traveler's words, he did the unthinkable. He screamed, "Allahu Akbar," and turned his back on the legendary blade and cast his own wooden sword into the water. The shadow shrieked and dissolved. The legendary sword comes into his hand as an honor of his pure heart. He walked out of the valley and say, "Alhamdulillah," praises his Malik, the owner of his life, who saved him and his heart from darkness of ego. He had become a warrior, whose truth was sharper than a blade of the sword, by the grace of Allah, the Almighty. That's how pure hearts win in this world and the hereafter.